What's happening, guys? Silent Mike, Super Training Gym, Mark Bell's Powercast here, answering more of your questions at Silent Mike with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me there if you guys want your questions answered. Here we go. Are you going to compete in the WPC? I don't think I'm going to compete in the WPC. I don't know if there's that many meets about the WPC. I don't know what their little branch is here, but probably not for now. What's your favorite lift to train if you had to choose? I don't really have a favorite. Whatever's going best. And more recently, all three are going best. Squats kind of hurt the most because I'm raising the frequency and volume, so deadlifts and bench. How old were you when you started strength training? I started training, resistance training when I was 8th grade, so like 13 or so, but started really powerlifting more at like 21, 22. Are you ever going to collab with Bradley Martin? Go over to Bradley Martin's page on the YouTubes, go to his newest video and say, Silent Mike, let's train. Or let's say, Bradley Martin, train with Silent Mike. Something of that nature. Go blast his ass. I actually just saw him last weekend. Just crossing paths, said what's up. Bradley's a cool dude. But we haven't trained together probably in like a year and a half. We obviously don't live that close to each other, but we can make it happen. What do you recommend to increase work capacity for an intermediate lifter, especially for lower body? Work capacity is a little bit of a general term, but if you're just trying to kind of raise the volume you can handle, train between 60 and 70%. Start smashing on sets of 6 to 10. You can also raise the frequency. If you're squatting twice a week, start squatting 3 times a week. Kind of cut the volume per those days in half. If you're doing 4 sets of 8 twice a week, you could do 2 sets of 8 3 times a week. Thoughts on specialty bars? Specialty bars are special. They can provide some relief. They can provide a little bit different stimulus. So I think they can be used as a great tool, but they're just a tool. Is there such thing as too much volume? Yes, there's 100% such thing as too much volume. I know people joke about overtraining because all these other people puss about overtraining, but basically there's a line. So if we're hitting the right line, we're going to progress, we're going to stay healthy, and we're going to succeed and make progress. But if you cross that line, one way you're not going to progress, you're not enough stimulus. The other way, if it's too much stimulus, so you're either going to stand still, plateau, or go backwards, or you're going to get injured. So too much volume, yeah, you can get injured. Thoughts on mashing such as a lacrosse ball, and more specifically thoughts on Chris Duffin's kabuki strength smashing stuff? Yeah, it's great. Some pinpoint work, some soft tissue work is not a bad idea if you're feeling beat up. Dogs or cats? 100% dogs. Never owned a cat, never want to own a cat. I like dogs, I love dogs. Following a push-pull legs routine, pulling conventional on pull days, but then lower back and hamstrings are taxed for leg days. My advice for that is you could do push, would obviously be bench and push exercises. Pull would just be upper body pull, and legs would be deadlifts and squats in the same day. If you're doing it twice a week, one could be hamstring focused and one could be quad focused, but you would deadlift and squat on the same day. Do you whip sitting down or standing? Oh, wipe. I was thinking like whip, watch me nay nay. Oh, watch me whip, whip, watch me nay nay. He said, do you wipe standing up or sitting down? And I've answered this so many times. It's like a quarter squat. I'd say it's like a high quarter squat. Having a problem growing my lats. One thing that really helped me is kind of thinking about pulling from my elbows and also thinking about pulling my shoulder down and back. Think about leading with your shoulder, not your arms, because you can do a lot of pulling with your arms and bicep, but if you really pull with your shoulder, go take your shoulder through the range of motion that you can, the furthest range of motion, that helped. Rows with lighter weights, not going nuts. Chin-ups with that same kind of focus. How far can you get into powerlifting with a poor diet? I think you can get really far in all sports except for probably bodybuilding. With a poor diet. There's always anomalies, there's always genetics, there's always different factors. I think a lot of people get very far with a poor diet. But why would you want to? Why wouldn't you want to try to optimize everything you can in your sport, in your hobby, in your life? Try to look at all the specifics and get them all better. Been doing Wendler's 531. When would be a good time in that cycle to test close to a 1 rep max? Never done less than 7 on the AMRAPs. Really want to push closer to that 1 rep max. I mean, anytime. 531 is kind of like a month-long peak. So you could peak, kind of deload and peak. Bada boom, bada bing. Bulk, cut, recomp for strength in the gym and functionality outside of the gym without planning to ever compete. Some of these questions are vague, homies. So it depends on where you are. Activities and functionality outside of the gym is very vague. All these things, the reason people have coaches, the reason I talk to you guys is because all these answers know that they're specific. They're specific to you, they're specific to your body type, your genetics, and your goals. If you're a 300-pound guy, you want to get strength in the gym, that's understandable, I guess, because you're talking barbells, dumbbells, cables. That's strength in the gym. That's a little less vague. And then functionality outside of the gym. Say, let's talk about you want to run. You want to be, run 5 to 10 miles every day. That's your functionality outside the gym. And you're 300 pounds, then my advice would be probably cut. Because a 300-pound man that wants to get stronger and run 10 miles a day, that's going to be difficult being 300 pounds. Functionality outside of the gym means being able to walk to your car, not get out of breath, and walk to your office or whatever your desk job is, then maybe you could bulk. If you weigh 150 pounds and your functionality outside of the gym is to play lead blocker or fullback in a football team, then it's probably time to bulk. All these things are so specific to your goals, man. You got to first, that's why, number one, I talk about all the time, first, choose your goals. Choose your goals specific, and then make the plan to get there. Choose a year goal, 6-month goal, maybe a 3-month goal, and then decide what it takes every single day, little things every single day to get there. Simple as that, my friends. I have a few questions. It would be great if you could answer one. We'll see. Should I compete in a meet even if I have no friends to go with who know the sport or know a handler? Do you prefer banded or chained reps over normal speed reps for explosiveness? And what's bigger, your nose or your wang? Excuse me? We'll answer the top two. That was rude. Yeah, you should compete in a meet. If you're efficient at the 3 lifts, if you know the rules of your federation, I think it's time to compete, man. Get after it. You'll meet people there. Be humble, be friendly, be open, and you can find someone to help you out at the meet. In terms of bands or chains, I think they're both great tools. I think they can both be used for different reasons, different reps, different explosiveness. Yeah, I think they can help you in explosiveness for, I guess, speed work, rep work, max effort work. It doesn't really matter. But I typically just kind of use them in my off season for a couple weeks at a time. What do you think about intermittent fasting? Doing the 3 main lifts and some accessories will make me run faster. So first, intermittent fasting. I do think intermittent fasting is fine. I think it's kind of a lifestyle thing. I don't think it has a ton of negatives. I kind of do a weird version of it just because I don't get hungry in the morning, so I won't eat until maybe 11 or 12. Just kind of coffee, sometimes a protein bar. Will the main 3 lifts get you faster? If you're working on your speed, a combination of some strength training with deadlifts and squats, probably even stiff legs, GHR, some stuff like that, plus working on some plyometrics, some running drills, footwork drills, obviously some boxing explosive stuff, even some med ball work, then yeah, you can get a little bit faster. Is it okay to mix up between Sumo Conventional Pole or focus on one during the training cycle? I think both are proper depending on where you are. If you're going into a meet, I would kind of focus on one. If you are kind of off season, yeah, I think it's no problem working on both a couple times a week. Right now, I'm sumo pulling one time and conventional pulling one time. How to wash the strong sleeves. A lot of people ask about washing equipment. Each piece of equipment is going to be a little bit different. Check out howmuchyoubench.net and our frequently asked questions. There's going to be loads of information there for you guys. That's it for me. I'm out of here. Silent Mike. Appreciate it, guys. We out. Come on! Let's go! Up! 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 Yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah. Ahí va.